I'm standing here right outside Parliament House in Canberra, and just 500 metres away is the spot where Russia wanted to build their new embassy, until Australia passed an emergency law just to block it from happening. A Russian official even camped on the spot, refusing to leave, and no one could touch him because he had diplomatic immunity. The politicians in the building behind me called the embassy a national security threat. So what caused all this drama? Join me as I go check it out today. And who knows, maybe there's a diplomat still camping there. Here it is, the spot that caused all that diplomatic drama. And of course we have the cameras watching my every move. This Chinese security guard is checking me out. Back in 2008, Russia purchased a 99-year lease on a block of land right near Parliament House for $2.75 million. Hardly anything was built until 2022, when Australia's National Capital Authority tried to reclaim the land, but Russia took the matter to court and won. The government responded with drastic action by passing an emergency law which terminated the lease immediately. For a little while, this story made global news. Alright, let's begin the journey over to the mythical Russian embassy site. Now the Russian embassy spot is about a 20-minute walk from here, and along the way we're going to see some other embassies, including some you might not expect. Now, fun fact about Parliament House, in 1988 it cost around 1.1 billion Australian dollars. It's actually more expensive than the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Personally, I find the world's tallest building slightly more impressive than Parliament House. The Burj Khalifa was built with questionable labour standards, but sacrifices have to be made for greatness. And just down the road here is the site of the old Parliament House. Yeah, that's right. They built a new Parliament House right behind the old one. Okay, I'm pretty sure this pathway here goes towards the embassy. So let's go. Now, as you can see by my surroundings, Canberra is not really a typical capital city like places like Washington, DC. It's basically a giant country town. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Alright, we are getting closer to the embassy now. There's a road up here I just have to cross. Just crossing the road here, and here we have the British consulate. Sorry, I mean the British High Commission. The motherland. Now the funny thing about this whole fiasco is the Chinese embassy is right next to the British High Commission, and it's pretty much the closest embassy to Parliament House of all the embassies. And given that in recent years Australia and China are not really the best of friends, it's a little bit questionable why they would let this one stay here but not the Russian one. Now just in front of me here is the Chinese embassy, and I'll show you it right now. It is absolutely massive. Now I would get closer, but I feel like I'm going to be possibly questioned if I do so. There's cameras everywhere, and we have wire at the top of the fence here. Seems like they're quite worried that someone's going to climb over, so I will not be getting any closer to that. You can see it's just absolutely fortified, and I don't know if you can see the camera right up there. There's just so many of them. I bet there's someone watching me right now. And as I keep walking, the Chinese embassy just keeps on going. It's absolutely massive. Seems like they've got some sort of Chinese garden in there. That's nice. The Russian embassy spot is really, really close now. And just next to the Brits, we have the New Zealand High Commission. And let's go have a look at that. Now, as you can see, New Zealand does love its cows. I think one of its top exports is milk products and milk, actually, so it does make sense. Good old New Zealand. They're basically like our little brother. They wouldn't mind me filming their High Commission, would they? Just next to New Zealand, we have the High Commission of Canada. I feel like if I try and jump the fence there, they'll apologise to me. Now, in my opinion, one of the coolest looking embassies here is the Papua New Guinea High Commission. It's a really unique looking building, and I'm just coming up to it now. I guess it's built in like the traditional old style. Really cool. Now, one thing I've noticed along this street is there's cameras everywhere. So hopefully I don't look too sus walking along here filming everything. And yes, believe it or not, I am still walking and the Chinese embassy is still going. Now, the Papua New Guinea High Commission is all the way over there, and the Chinese embassy has just stopped right now. So, with the Russia thing, double standard? I don't know. And on that note, I think I'm coming up to the block right now where Russia's embassy was supposed to be. Every time I see a car, I'm slightly worried they're going to pull over and start questioning me. I have arrived at the fabled embassy spot. Before I go there, I want to show you this right here. Now, this building behind me is just across the road from the proposed Russian embassy site, and the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure it's an extension of the Chinese embassy because I've seen what looks to be staff from the embassy walking in there. And as you can see, we've got some nasty looking spikes on there. And I know for a fact this building wasn't here a few years ago. So it is funny how this was approved, but not the Russian embassy. There's the spot. Let's cross the road and have a look. Here it is, the spot that caused all that diplomatic drama a couple of years ago. See that car behind me? It slowed down right as I was here. And they were looking at me and I was wondering, uh-oh. But they just kept driving. So anyway, as I was saying, this is the spot where the diplomat was camping out for a while. As you can see, all that's left now is some old construction blocks and materials. Almost makes you wonder if Russia's still gonna try and challenge the decision or not and try and keep building it, because it seems like they've left some stuff here. And of course we have the cameras watching my every move. Maybe Putin's watching on the other end. This Chinese security guard is checking me out. And you can see it is fairly well fortified. Got some fences over here with some nasty spikes on top. These tiles are pretty much in a state of disrepair. I guess it's a metaphor for Australia-Russia relations. Now that is that's a fridge. I don't know why we have a half-broken fridge here, but maybe that's what the diplomat was using when he was camping here. So there it is, the empty block of land that made Australia somewhat globally relevant for a short while. You know, some people say the Cold War never ended, and maybe it's places like this that just confirm that.